Okay, I'm going to address something that a lot of people don't like to address, but it needs to be addressed one way or another. It's not like I can formally address this issue. I could address it with a head scarf on. I could address it like this. I'm going to have my hair like this. It's not really a, nobody knows what this is. I could address it like this. It doesn't really matter what way you address it. I could address it with my hair down, whatever. It's not a what way is your hair styled today type of issue. Okay. It's just not. It never will be. If you really look at the deep intrinsic values of human life, the overall spectrum, okay? Because, a woman under anesthesia is a woman under anesthesia. It doesn't matter. Okay. And she has her physical body and her rights. And if people take them away from her while she's under anesthesia, they take it away from her. So, that being said, we're going to talk about public schools, sometimes private schools, and in some cases even homeschools. Okay, that have issues. Okay, it's called the crazy out of control stuff. Okay, hear about these things going on in public school campuses, public school grounds. That means children under 18. Um, and the teachers are allowing crazy stuff to happen. Okay. Um, Basically, it's the folly stuff, the far left woke stuff, which is colorful flag junk. Okay. It's the junk of the colorful flag world. Meaning, if a colorful flag person is doing something, they should be allowed to continue to contribute to domestic violence among themselves and by themselves and within themselves, whatever. Okay. This is public school. You know what you can allow on your public school campus. You can allow people of any sort into your public school grounds, okay? That includes the parents themselves. All right. So I hear about some teachers that engage in acts between teacher to student. Now, what are the rules in your public school handbook on being a teacher? You're not to engage in stuff, online or offline. Okay, that should be clear. If you're a part of a state that says that it's allowed, then you must be a part of that state. Okay? Um, I don't know, but in our state, we have rules that you're not supposed to be engaging in any of that stuff on campus or off campus. We had a teacher that had been involved with a student, and they happened to have been under the age of 15. Um, Now, I very well know that heights change very fast for some students. Okay, so and development changes very fast for some students, and it goes like boom. So hands off is hands off. Okay, online, offline, whatever, on campus, off campus, same thing. Okay. If you're part of a school system that says things like that are allowed, I would suggest getting your kid out of that school immediately. Okay, because that's not good. Okay. Anyway, so if a person is a public school teacher and they're not engaging in these things, and maybe they are not, they're also not a part of a school system that allows that kind of stuff. If their student, their child, or somebody associated with them had posted something about a musician, whatever. Let's say it's just Maroon 5 or Taylor Swift or something like that, or other sorts of singers or celebrities, and you see the video or you see a post and it's all about Taylor Swift. Okay, maybe you don't agree with everything. Maybe some people don't agree with her, whatever. Okay, the student of, or the close relative or whatever of that teacher doesn't make that teacher guilty of something. That's going too far because this is the student posting these things about Taylor Swift, so to speak. Okay? Is that clear? That does not make the teacher guilty. Okay. Um, yeah. What about a general celebrity that posts stuff and it's kind of iffy? Maybe the teacher used that songwriter as an illustration in the classroom, saying, look, see how this family is this way. Let me, like, a big example would be like a Kardashian family. Okay. We know that they go off the rails sometimes, and they're a celebrity, and they're using them as an illustration about something. Okay. Um, what if they post something really iffy one day and you're like, ooh, that's not really appropriate. Now, what would the teacher purposefully post about that celebrity? You know? Okay. Um, so it's all about how the topic is discussed. Okay. Um, yeah. Anyway, these things have been around for a long time, generation after generation. In Jesus' day, they had ups and downs in social features. Okay. You can find the stories. There's the woman caught in adultery. There's a woman with 5 husbands. There's um, the story about in Luke chapter 7 about the woman who was a sinner and things like that. Okay, and then there's prodigal son as well. So now Jesus himself addressed a community and said, Capernaum, I believe, was worse than Sodom and Gomorrah. So when he's saying something's worse than Sodom and Gomorrah, but yet he hangs out with sinners, what does that tell you? There's certain elements that are okay and certain things are not okay. Too far is too far because somebody's going to get hurt. And Jesus also addresses that anybody who puts a stumbling block before a child, you'd be better off drowned in the sea. Okay. So, like I said, what if a person posts something about Taylor Swift and you did and among the things he's just like, wait, that doesn't make the teacher guilty of anything. It's a student or a child or something else. That's not the teacher himself posting something about Taylor Swift. Okay. Okay. Maybe they're talking about something else about Taylor Swift, like her mother or something. Taylor Swift's mother has, was it a brain tumor or something? That doesn't mean that the teacher actually supports everything that Taylor Swift stands for. Okay? They're just using her as an illustrator for something, illustration. Okay? That doesn't mean that that teacher's out of control. Okay? What's out of control is when there's actual engagement, actual encouragement. Okay? Like some of the dirt stuff that some celebrities post. I mean, if there's actual encouragement towards posting junk, then that teacher would be guilty of stuff. Okay? All right. I think we can clearly define what is too far, what is real, what is fake, what is legit. Um, Students are students and they will have their features. There's no way around there. They're going to have their height. They're going to have their features that create attraction or not. There's nothing you can do about that. That's a part of life. Okay. They have an entire life ahead of them. That's a long road to go. Okay. Um, yeah. So if someone that looks like Paris Hilton, now Paris Hilton, she posts stuff about her teenage life and she's like talking about how she was mistreated, mishandled. Okay, she's a real person. Okay, so children in their teenage age can remember things well into their old age. Okay, so it's very obvious there's certain rules that cannot be bent and should not be bent. And if the local public school wants to bend those rules and say colorful flag people are always innocent, you better watch out. I'm serious. I'm not sitting here and I'm not going to allow that. I wouldn't allow anybody to get into that. No. You don't. No. When you work in actual healthcare, you find out that the colorful flag world, they're not always the ones that want to be on the front line. They don't actually want to be there to work. Okay. The ones that want to be there to work have some actual moral obligation behind why they're there in the first place. Okay. I'm not going to be extremely anti-colorful flag world because I know some stories about history. Okay. There have been people that have had tribal relationships, and they were kind of off the charts, but that's not on public school grounds. Okay. Um, multiple partners or something like that. That's nothing new to human nature. Okay. But when you're going way off the track, it's hitting the danger zone. Okay. And it can lead to actual death of the student. Okay. And that is very serious. Okay. All right. I hope that it clears up a lot of confusion, and I hope people really pay attention to what's really going on this planet. And yes, put biblical things in proper perspective, because that's just the way the human body is designed to work. It's designed to worship, okay? It's designed to want to find fellowship with someone else. Okay. Companionship. That's the human body. And when it's misaligned and misled, and then the people get confused, and that's not good. Okay. Have a good day.